Transitions. Okay, so we're going to look at transitions and how to get them to look nice. Here is a couple footage pieces that we're going to be looking at. Again, I like to go into the fact that I'm using practical application here. The last video I showed you how to rotate things. Now I'm kind of showing you that same thing, but much faster. So right click, scale to frame size. This one, let's go over this one. This one, scale to frame size. Make it smaller. Rotate it. There we go. And now I have these two pieces. They're different sizes, and you can see that what happens is it's a very harsh transition between the two. Well, let's fix that. There's a couple ways we could fix it. Let's look at the hardest way first, shall we? So the first way is there are these little drop downs. If you click on them, you get the full story. And if you look close, there's this orange bar. This represents opacity. That means if I take this one and click and drag it in, it's overlapping at 100% opacity, so I don't get to see this one here. Whatever's on top gets seen. That's the first layer. Oh, I'm using Alt and wheel mouse in to zoom in like this. This is just for demonstration purposes only. It really serves no purpose other than to show you things up close. There's another way to zoom. You can use this little scroll bar right here. Now, what I want to do is fade between the two clips. And this is how it works. First off, click on your footage. Have your cursor over the area. And then click this little tiny dot. This is a keyframe. Okay, I'm going to put a keyframe here, and then put a keyframe at the end. Okay, now what happens is I can move this keyframe down. What's going to happen here is from here to here, it's going to drop in opacity and fade into the next clip. Just like that. Now, sometimes people like the fact that it's going right into the next clip. Other people like this, where it slowly fades to black and then into another clip. So whether you like either or, that's the way it works. It depends on how far you want this into the transition. Let's add another picture into the mix to see how we reverse it. Okay, here's one of a building. Okay, right click, scale to frame size, click it, drag in, then rotate it. Again, I like to keep one in focus, that way I can see exactly how big the other one is, and it's not such a stark change. Now, let's look at adding the keyframe. This time we're going to add the keyframe coming in. Click, click, click and drag. Now sometimes it does help to zoom in a little bit. That way I can grab that keyframe a little bit better. There we go. So it is kind of difficult to grab that, no doubt about it. So let's look at that one now. I'll hit the space bar. And there it fades into the next one. And it's a good transition. Now, if I wanted to make it a little bit longer transition, this is how that works. Let's say I need to move the keyframe. I can just simply click and drag the keyframe here to here. And then I can increase the footage size here and here. Because the bottommost clip usually gets a shorter time period, right? Because by the time it fades into it, plays it, and fades back into the next clip, that is a shorter time period. But essentially, that's how it works. And I go to track 1, track 2, track 1, track 2, all the way down until I'm finished with my slideshow. Now, we're going to look at another thing that we have to worry about is video footage. So let's look at fading video footage back and forth in the next video.